The trauma of October 7th will not easily be healed, but art can certainly help people work through pain. That's the aim of a photography project called Facing the Sea, looking at those who suffered on October 7th and the ensuing war, such as soldiers, families of hostages, or survivors of the Nova and Midburn festivals. Photographed and filmed entirely this year, the exhibition is the result of a collaboration between photographer Daniel Tchetchik and non-profit organization My Wave, which uses surfing as a tool for self-discovery. Each photo captures participants in the Tools from the Waves program, documenting their personal story of trauma, resilience, and their journey of rehabilitation. The artist behind the work, Daniel Tchetchik, joins us live now. Daniel, thank you so much for being with us. I was very much touched and moved by these photographs. We're going to talk about three on the show right now. And I just sort of think art is a very powerful medium in terms of bearing witness, because when you think about the victims of October 7th, especially those who are of course now deceased, they cannot speak for themselves. So art becomes their voice. In this scenario, and if we can pull up the first photograph, you're actually showing a lot of people in the series of photographs who may have lost family members, who have relatives who are taking hostage. Just talk to us about this particular photograph of this woman. Her name is May, as I understand it. What are you depicting? What do you want the world to learn from this?
Yes, I would like to give about a 15-second introduction to the organization My Wave, which this is obviously, as you stated correctly, a collaboration with them. It was founded by Yaron Waxman and Omer Tulczynski, and they've been running for more than 10 years, dealing with at-risk youth and the disabled, and of course, a lot with trauma, especially in the past 2 years. And if we jump to your question regarding May is an incredible person that I met and photographed about 6 months ago. She lost her brother, Yotam, about a year ago. It was on the border with Gaza, and I spent 25 minutes photographing her together with her additional brother. And it was just a very powerful experience to spend this time in this shared space together. And the most touching thing about also my work with but with all the participants, that they mentioned that this was literally part of the recorporation process. This was part of the healing. Some actually mentioned that this was kind of closing a circle for them. So it's not just me photographing them, it's really kind of part of the dealing with trauma and confronting the sea, and our inner sea and our outer sea.
I mean, I look into her eyes and I can, if we can just pull up her photo again, I can see and I can feel her pain, particularly in her eyes. I mean, you know, what you're doing here is you're externalizing the pain of some of these victims in a way that words can never, ever express. We have another photograph we want to show our audience, and this is of Yuval, as I understand it. She's obviously looking off into the distance. Just explain to us what we're looking at here and what she experienced as a result of October 7th.
Well, Yuval's father was killed in captivity several months ago. He's still being held in Gaza. Her uncle and her life partner were kidnapped, later returned in a deal with Hamas. And this was really toward the sunset. Yuval doesn't usually agree to be photographed. I think there's also a very harsh portrayal of some of these victims in the media. It's always in these dark rooms with very dimly light atmosphere. And here you can see the strength, the hope, the confrontation, also the fragility, and also the pain, but also, you know, many aspects that I think are rarely seeing it in the press, hopefully.
You know, that's such a good point, because this is a very different backdrop from what we're used to using for some of these victims. I mean, obviously, you've got the water behind her, and you know, I was looking at these photographs and I was trying to sort of think about what the water would symbolize in this scenario. And obviously water, you know, represents a certain element of timelessness. There's continuity, there's renewal, there's life, there's cleansing. Just explain to us why you chose this particular backdrop for these three individuals.
For sure. So I've been surfing for 30 years, so there's also this personal aspect. I had a lot of challenges growing up and going out into the sea and detaching yourself from land and placing yourself in a place of confrontation, but it's also completely quiet and surreal, that you can spend time away from, the daily life. This is what I wanted to kind of create. There's a lot of emotion, there's fear, there's death, there's life, there's hope within the ocean. And these are aspects that I also felt while surfing, but also kind of became a canvas for myself and as an artist throughout the years that I've been exploring the several and actually the endless metaphors that lie within this beautiful ocean.
So powerful. And I just want to give I want us to focus on the last photograph, because I really wanted to get in 3 at least. And this is a man named Emmanuel. Can you tell us what he went through?
Emmanuel was in the Midbird Festival, which was a festival that was adjacent to the Nova Festival. Obviously, the Nova Festival is the one that's the acclaimed festival for the horrific things that happened, but adjacent to that was the Midburn Festival. Emmanuel saved several people, obviously also himself, and obviously all these participants are suffering from deep trauma, and this recovery process through the waves, through this amazing organization, this My Wave organization that really takes these people, these trauma survivors, and builds them up from a very difficult point to this place that they have stability and continue to grow, is just unbelievable to see, and really a privilege to be a photographer that had the opportunity to create this series.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, the 3 people that we just sort of saw there, I mean, you have to imagine that their sense of identity is completely changed forever as a result of October 7th. I mean, everything that you thought you knew about who you are and your future and your life and your relationship with others and your understanding of your country and Israel, I mean, all of it completely shifts as a result of what happens in one day. Daniel, Tchetchik.
Right, and it's not over. Sorry that I'm stopping you.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
These participants, the story is not over. It's continuing. The hostages have not been returned yet. This is not something that we can unfortunately talk about in the past. Hopefully within the coming days and weeks, this will be resolved and the war will end and the hostages will be returned, because it's just been too much pain for too many people for too long.
Too much pain, too much pain. And listen, fingers crossed for these negotiations that are taking place right now. Daniel, thank you so much, and thank you for showcasing your art with us today. We're very grateful for that. We'll be right back with more.